Before I start, I do want to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land in which we speak, the Gadigal people, and pay my respects to elders past and present. So I've got the pleasure of sort of wrapping up some of the conversation we've been hearing over the last couple of days and talk about one of the things that a number of us are doing to hashtag take action around a new energy compact. So we've sort of heard that from Yolanda yesterday and also from the panel today that people do actually care about energy. They care about what's happening to the planet, they care about climate change, and they care about other people. They care about fairness and equity. They might not want to engage in energy the way they're currently being asked to engage, but it's an essential service, so it is important. And you know, they're concerned about the transition that we're going through at the moment. It is very complex, it's rapid, and it's messy at the moment. And a number of us have been going to all these messy, complex reform processes that are happening at the moment, you know, whether it be post-2025 market structure, COGADI, ISP, I'm going to rattle off a whole lot of names. And from a consumer's perspective, we sit there and the objectives of these reforms always have a technical, an engineering, a economic focus, which is important. We do need to pay attention to that, but there's been little focus or little objectives around people. What do people want? How do we redesign the system for people? And you know, we heard Jeff talk about yesterday the transition in the UK where they've set a target. They don't know exactly how they're going to do it, but they now need to bring people together. And he talked about a new social contract. And you know, to make sure that it is fair and equitable. So, you know, a few of us said, going to these forums, that what we really need is some sort of new vision and principles to actually guide this reform process. So ACOS and Mark at the Total Environment Centre in collaboration with ECA, so Chris and Lynn in particular, and with the support of organisations like ARENA, so Craig, AMC and AER, we've been on a journey to start developing this new vision and set of principles that can guide the energy transition and reflect people's and communities' values. So I'm going to present to you what we've come up with so far. We've gone through a consultation process, and I'll go into that a little bit more, but the purpose is to activate a vision and principles for the Australian energy system that reflects the values of people, its future focus, and can be used by all decision makers to guide policy reform. And you know, we're talking about governments, regulators, as well as energy companies and advocates. We've come up with a vision that the system, and by system we mean more than just poles and wires, we mean the whole system that includes all stakeholders involved in it, that it's inclusive, sustainable energy system that actively improves outcomes for people, the community and the environment. And we also have a guiding value, which that is energy is an essential service and everyone has the right to access clean, affordable, dependable energy. And sitting under that is 5 principles that help guide the reform process. So the first one is, and they're not in order, but you need to put numbers on things so people can refer to them. So there's numbers there. Put people at the centre, think long-term and be flexible, be just and fair, ensure it works, and deliver a clean and healthy energy. So this is what we've called the New Energy Compact on a page. And I guess one of the things we want to try and convey through this New Energy Compact is it's a new mindset. We're asking for a change in mindset about how we engage in the energy system. So it's one about collaboration, innovation, and striving to achieve win-win outcomes. And we heard Cameron talk about this yesterday in design, where you know we need to be much more participative and collaborative in how we design the future systems. And this is the heart of the essence of this New Energy Compact. And there is a part of the compact that actually talks about how you implement the compact, and co-design is at the heart of that. And innovation is really important, that, you know, rather than coming up with the easiest solution, you ask the hard questions. You do it with all the stakeholders in the room, and you go through a process of coming up with something that is more like a win-win and meets the needs of people. And so you need a good process for that, and we talk about that in the compact as well. And then if the principles still remain in conflict, if we can't quite get the win-win, I think the key thing is to be really transparent about that and justify it. I think one of the problems that people have at the moment is everything's not very transparent at all, and people are more likely to trust if they can see why a decision's been made. They're more likely to accept it. So that's one of the things we talk about as well. In terms of the principles, I'm not going to go through all of this, but under each of the 5 principles are what we call something like principles in action. So, you know, there's some more depth to it to guide decision makers about how you would implement these principles. So in terms of the development of the New Energy Compact, this has been informed through consultation with consumers, consumer representatives, as well as other stakeholders in the industry, as well as international and domestic research. And the paper that we're putting out has all that information in it. So we've started off with a workshop in September. We've developed a draft. We've gone back out to people in forums. We've had a comms expert come in and help us policy nerds put in a bit of better language. And now we've developed this draft that we're bringing back out to consultation, so that you can find the document on the ACOS website, New Energy Compact, and in there's details about how you can get back to us, but we'll be reaching out as well to people to keep consulting on this document. So our plan is over the next 2 months, we'll continue our consultation. We're also going to reach out to the public as well and get their feedback. And then our aim is to release it in May, where we would like to get organisations to endorse the compact. And before I finish, I haven't seen signs. Not that I'm surprised Mark's so compliant. You don't really belong in the environment movement when you're asking if you need to stop. Come on. We rebel. Anyway, I did want to say there's also been a lot of questions about how is this different to the Energy Charter. And we heard about the Energy Charter yesterday. The Energy Charter is, it's a charter and a set of principles for companies. It's about what companies will do to work together to be more customer focused. This is a higher level than that. It's a framework from a customer perspective, or consumers, what consumers want to help guide the energy transition. As I said, it applies to government, to regulators, market bodies, any reform process, and would help inform the Energy Charter's work as well. So it's not in competition with, it's something that sits a little bit above that. And I would certainly encourage other companies to join the Energy Charter so that they can work cooperatively to improve customer outcomes. So I'll just finish there.